What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope all doing well. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We had big news that happened this morning. The New York Jets acquired receiver Davantae Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a move that had been speculated on for a few weeks. Of course, Davantae Adams formally requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. He's been unhappy there for a couple of years now. Obviously, has looked visibly frustrated time and time again over the last couple of years. And he finally formally requested a trade. Rays were trying to get something done. Originally said it could be done within a week or two. Then it came out sometime last week, said that they might wait till they get the right return so they could hold on to him all year. But they gave it down. They gave him to the New York Jets. Obviously, he reunites with Aaron Rodgers. Of course, they were a dynamic duo with the Green Bay Packers a few years back. And the Jets gave up a conditional third-round pick that could become a second. So I think this is a good move for the Raiders. They're not going anywhere. I know it's early on. 2-4 isn't a death sentence, but the team isn't good. You know, I like the coach Antonio Pierce, but that's not a good roster. The quarterback situation isn't good. They just benched Gardner Minshew for Aiden O'Connell, who I don't have a lot of confidence in. The roster is, not great. You know, outside of a couple of decent receivers, there isn't a whole lot there. And Max Crosby is really the only legit piece on my defense that's really super sparkling. And then you brought in Christian Wilkins for agency this year. But there isn't a whole lot there. So, you get a draft pick for him. Third-round pick. Could become a second-round pick. That's about as much as you probably were going to get for him. Fonta's a guy who's on the back nine of his career. Still a really good receiver, but, he wasn't happy there. He didn't want to be there. He wasn't gonna help you, you were going to win a Super Bowl with him anyway. You get a somewhat decent draft pick for him. For the Jets, look, obviously him and Rodgers were magical in Green Bay. They're as good as it gets in Green Bay. Rodgers is the same now. He's 40, going on 41. I'll have to come with the torn Achilles last year. He's overall not been near the same. It's been horrible. Only horrible game I would say he's had was against Minnesota. Buffalo played very well in the first half. Wasn't as great in the second half. But, overall, he's just been kind of okay. I mean, I guess, I would take him over Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, I guess. But, it's a desperate move for the Jets, for sure. Especially since they're taking out his entire contract. But, I wish they weren't doing that as a fan. But, look, are they a better football team with Davantae Adams? Yes. He's a great receiver. He's at least a top 15 receiver in the league right now, if not top 10. In the league. It's a big move. Now you have Breece Hall and right now are a very good running back too. You have Davantae Adams, you have Garrett Wilson. Tyler Conklin is not a bad tight end over there. So you have a legit offense. The line isn't great, a little better than last year, but not great. That defense is not as great as it was last year, but still very good, I would say. They struggled in the first half against the Bills. Well, made some adjustments and played a lot better in the second half. I'll do my NFL recap in a little bit later in the show. That's what we're going to close out with today. But Adams is a Jet. Overall, look, I think he's worth a second or a third round pick. But it's one thing, if it works and it helps get just over the hump and end up making the playoffs, this is going to be a great move. And it might be it could be a season-saving move, but if it doesn't, now you're looking next year, you have a roster that's kind of expensive, a little older, kind of don't know where you're going. You're going to be looking for a new head coach, obviously. You might be looking for a new general manager. Joe Douglas might get axed after the year if they don't like the playoffs. So it'll be a quarterback who's 41 years old, making a lot of money. And then you're stuck with, the Adams contract. He's 32 years old. I mean, he's on a big contract. And, you have Alan Lazard making $11 million per year next 2 years after this, so. And then obviously, I'm not one of Aaron Rodgers' friends that he lured with him to the Jets last year. But I would say it's a desperate move that I don't think it's going to adjust to the playoffs. I mean, they already fired Robert Saleh, obviously. I mean, they're trying to spark my team. You fire Saleh, you promote the defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbricht, interim head coach. You demote Nathaniel Hackett. You make Todd Downing the new play caller. Now you make a trade for an all-pro receiver, Davantae Adams, who, of course, has a very good rapport with Aaron Rodgers. But, so they're trying to do everything they can. Joe Douglas, it seems like he's trying to save his job. Obviously, last year making the Aaron Rodgers trade, giving it the picks to get him, and putting all your eggs in one basket, which didn't work. Now, you get rid of Salah, and, you make the changes to the coaching staff. That hasn't worked, so, thus far. We're only, of course, a week into that. Now you give up a draft pick for Davantae Adams. If that doesn't work, you're kind of out of options. If it does, okay, we can go from there. But if it doesn't, you're out of options at that point. But big trade. Jets and Raiders make that move. Jets get Davantae Adams. Moving forward, let's talk a little college basketball briefly. The AP rankings for the start of the season came out for college basketball. Seeing at number 1 is Kansas. They're number 1. Alabama is at 2. The two-time defending national champions. UConn is at 3. Houston is at 4. Iowa State is at 5. Gonzaga is at 6. Duke is at 7. Baylor is 8th. North Carolina is 9th. Arizona is 10th. Auburn is 11th. Tennessee is 12th. Texas A&M is at 13. Purdue is at 14. Creighton is at 15. Arkansas is at 16. At 17th is Indiana. Marquette is at 18th. Texas is at 19th. 20th is Cincinnati. Florida is 21st. UCLA is 22nd. Kentucky is 23rd. Ole Miss is 24th. And Rutgers is in the rankings at 25th. That's a college basketball top 25 entering the season. I was slightly surprised at first that UConn was 3rd. Two national championships in dominating fashion. Thought be ranked 3rd, but you lost pretty much the whole team from last year. You lost, who's the point guard that you lose? He was top, the Tom and Klingon were the big man were both top 10 picks. Lost pretty much everybody. I know they brought in a transfer from St. Mary's who had a good year last year. They also had, I think, the 9th best player in the class coming out of high school, join their squad, and have a couple of holdovers from last year, so I think they'll be just fine. I would have probably ranked them at number 1, but I understand that they did lose a lot of pieces. Kansas and Alabama are both very good. So that's the college basketball rankings. Moving forward, let's talk about some college football games from last week. We had some crazy games this past week. College football has been wild so far. We had Arizona State, a huge upset over number 16 UConn, 27-19 now. And Cameron Rising those 3 picks from a loss. The Utah's second loss, so now the college football playoff is going to be pretty tough for the Utes because that's our second loss. They were already only at 16. That's a big upset for Arizona State. Number 1 Texas easily wins the Red River rivalry over number 18 Oklahoma. 34-3. Quinn Ewers throws for 199 and a touchdown in his return to the starting lineup because he was hurt the last couple weeks. That game wasn't close. Oklahoma isn't great this year. Number 3 Oregon defeats number 2 Ohio State 32-31. Crazy game. Dylan Gabriel throws for 341 yards and two touchdowns. James, the running back, ran for 115 to score. Evan Stewart, 7 catches, 149 yards, and a touchdown. Crazy game, back and forth. Oregon got a field goal to take a lead by a point. And there's number 2 minutes to go, and then Ohio State was driving. They were in range, and then O'Hara threw a pass to Jeremiah Smith. Was for a much for the first down, but they were basically in the red zone. But Smith got called for an offensive passing interference, so that pushed him back, basically out of field goal range. And then next play was on 3rd and long, was incomplete, but I called an illegal sub on Oregon, so that put Ohio State 5 yards closer. And then terrible mistake by Will Howard. 6 seconds left, and you just run up the middle. Remember, they have a timeout. Well, if you get a 7 or 8 yard sideline play, you can bring out your kicker for a long field goal. Do I trust a college kicker to make a 50-plus yard field goal to win the game? No. But I trust him better than, a 50-yard Hail Mary for the last play of the game. A field goal, of course, wins the game. So it's a terrible mistake by Will Howard. Oregon wins. Oregon is really good. Dylan Gabriel's played very well this year. They got a lot of nice weapons on offense. Offense is phenomenal. Oregon picks up the win. Number 4, Penn State beats USC 33-30 in overtime. That's a big win for Penn State. Their tight end, Tyler Warren, 17 catches for 224 yards and a touchdown. Crazy game from a tight end, no less. Penn State's looked really good this year. They are 6-0. They were 4th best in the country going into this game. Crazy game. USC was winning for a little while there. They're actually up 20-6 at the half. They're up 2 scores at the half. Penn State comes back and wins that game in overtime. Number 5, Georgia beat Mississippi State 41-31. Carson Beck goes for 459 and 3 touchdowns. The number 7 Alabama beat South Carolina 27-25. Really close game. South Carolina was winning at one point. Alabama actually had to come from behind the fourth quarter and grab that game. And South Carolina was driving late in the fourth quarter. They threw an interception on the last drive in the last minute of the game. So Alabama, weird. You beat Georgia, and then you lose to Vanderbilt, which hadn't happened in like 40 years, and you almost lose to South Carolina. So, been a wild year for Alabama. They sneak past South Carolina. Number 8, Tennessee beats Florida 23-17 overtime. Another game we thought would be a blowout that was a lot closer than we thought. Tennessee quarterback Yamaliva, I'm not sure if I said that right, threw for 169 yards and a pick. Not great, but Tennessee sneaks by the Gators. Number 13 LSU beats number 9 Ole Miss 29-26 in overtime. Crazy game. Garrett Nussmeier had a phenomenal game. Threw for 337, 3 touchdowns. Late in the fourth quarter, he absolutely threaded the needle that tied the game. And then in overtime, after Ole Miss went down and got a field goal, beautiful back shoulder throw to win the game. Had 2 big throws late in that game. LSU was small upset over Ole Miss 29-26 in a phenomenal game. Number 10, Clemson beats Wake Forest 49-14. They've won 5 in a row since that tough loss in week 1. That is the Clemson Tigers. Number 11, Notre Dame beats Stanford 49-7. They've rebounded since that tough loss to NIU, which doesn't even seem real because NIU is not very good. 11, Iowa State beats West Virginia 28-16. You had BYU. Number 14 beats Arizona 41-19. Number 17, Boise State beats Hawaii 28-7. Number 18, Kansas State beats Colorado 31-28. Number 21, Missouri beats UMass 45-3. No kidding. UMass is one of the worst college football Division I programs in the country. Number 23, Pitt beats Cal 17-15. They sneak past Cal. And then in overtime, number 23, Illinois sneaks past Purdue 50-49 overtime. Yeah, a bunch of overtime games this week. It was a crazy weekend of college football. With that, let's get to the AP rankings heading into this week for college football. It's going into now week 8. The week 7 just happened. This is going to be week 8 this week for college football. Texas remains number 1 in the country. They were reinserted there last week after Alabama lost when they were on bye. You below Oklahoma. That makes sense. Oregon is now 2nd in the country. Penn State is now 3rd in the country. I did not think Penn State would be a top 3 team at any point this year. Wow. I knew they'd be good, but they're usually good, not great. Wow, Penn State there in the country. That was a bit of a surprise. But how's it drops down to 4? I think it's a correct move. Both those teams, the 2 teams I watched in the House at Oregon, are 2 top 5 teams in the country. So House State now at 4. Georgia remains at 5. Miami remains at number 6. Alabama remains at 7. LSU shoots up to number 8. Iowa State up to number 9. Clemson remains at 10. Tennessee down to number 11. Notre Dame down 1 spot to 12. BYU is now 13. Texas A&M is 14. Boise State sinks up to 15. Boise State in the top 15. Good for them. You have Indiana at 16. Kansas State at 17. Almost plummets down to 18th. Missouri at 19. Pitt is at 20th. SMU up to 21st. Illinois up to 22nd. 23rd is Army. Army is 23rd. Michigan is 24th. And Navy is 25th. So Army and Navy both ranked. Good for them. Crazy that Army is better than Michigan. Michigan, the defending champs, obviously aren't quite the same team. They are now ranked 24th. And you have Navy ranked at the rankings at 25th. All right, let's talk some MLB playoffs. We had a lot happen in the last few days. On Saturday, the last one did the show, I think, was on Thursday. So let's start with Friday in that case. On that day, Dodgers beat the Padres 2-0. And to win Game 5 and advance to the National League Championship Series, Yamamoto gave him 5 scoreless innings. They got 2 home runs from Kike Hernandez and Teoscar Hernandez to win that game. And that's a tough way to go out for the Padres. You didn't score a run in Game 4 or 5. You lost 10-0 combined in those 2 games. That's a tough way to go out. And you Dark pitched a great game in Game 5 as well. Just for 2 home runs and 6 2/3. On Saturday, Cleveland Guardians beat the Tigers 7-3 in Game 5. The Tigers' magical run comes to an end in the American League Division Series. Lane Thomas grants him off school ball. That goes in the 5th inning. They put him up 5-1. That ends up being the difference. 7-3 Cleveland. They advance the American League Championship Series. Sunday, Game 1 of the LCS. Dodgers win 9-0. They got 7 scoreless innings out of Jack Flaherty. Cole Singer looked really bad. Only got 4 outs in that game. Had 4 walks. But then game 2, Mets strike back. They win 7-3 in game 2. Sherman goes 5 solid innings. Bullpen, which has been shaky all year for the Mets, was even shaky, was very shaky in the wild card round, was low shaky in the division series. As they got it done, they weren't horrible in the game against in game 1 honestly. Dave Pearson didn't look great, but they were just trying to get some innings out of them to eat some innings. After that, they looked fine, and they overall pitched well. For 4 innings, they got the job done. Yesterday, M. Diaz again, a little bit of a shaky start, but was able to finish the job. And Yankees take game 1 against Cleveland, 5-2. A solid outing from Carlos Rodon. Luke Weaver comes in to get 4 outs to get the save. He's been phenomenal down the stretch for New York Yankees after replacing Clay Holmes in the closer role. So Yankees take game 1 in the American League Championship Series. Moving forward, of course, we got tonight is the game 2 between Cleveland and the Yankees. By the way, a comment from Coach Sal, my Twitter space. Shout out Coach Sal. He comments once in a while. Just got Davantae. Almost surprisingly good fantasy years done. Yeah, that probably is what's going to happen because he's now the 3rd receiver in that offense. He was but 2. Coach Sal's got a point there. I totally agree with him. So if you have Almost in fantasy, at this point you might as well just drop the guy because I don't think he's going to give you much the rest of the year. Speaking of football, let's finish with the NFL recap. Bears beat the Jaguars in the London game Sunday morning, 35-16. Holy hell, that team is bad. They need to move off of Doug Pearson. It's time. It's just time. The guy's a mediocre coach in this league. He was okay in Philly. Now, still can't believe he won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. Him and Nick Foles winning a Super Bowl against Tom Brady and the Patriots and Bill Belichick, that sounds like another timeline. It seems like something like a movie Marvel would make. Or it's like another timeline, like a No Way Home Spider-Man kind of movie, or like you had guys from the Tobey Maguire universe and like the Tom Holland universe. That sounds like something that would that would happen. But like Coach Sal also just added Rashid Shaheed's fantasy year is on the hot seat now. Spencer Rattler is starting. Yeah, I cannot believe Spencer Rattler. We'll get to the Saints game in a minute, very shortly. But I cannot believe Spencer Rattler started an NFL game. If you told me that even 3 weeks ago, I would have laughed in your face. Spencer Rattler started an NFL game. That is insane to me. But Bears won 35-16. The defense was great. Caleb looked a little better. He also had a throw that basically hit his lineman in the back of the head. It was standing like an inch to the left of him. But Bears pick up the win. That Jaguars team is very, very bad. Ravens beat the Commanders 30-23. That was a very good game. Was very fast-paced as we thought. Ravens get the 4-2. Commanders also 4-2. Look, I said if the Commanders won that game, they would definitely be a contender. If not sure. Overall, they played well. That's a decent football team. They're a lot better than expected. Packers beat the Cardinals 34-13. They get the job done there. Good win for them. Arizona does not look good. They're not very good. Texans over the Patriots 41-21. Drake May's first game. He had 3 touchdowns against 3 interceptions. He had some really nice things that he did. Made a lot of really nice stuff. His first touchdown pass to Davantae was a dime. Also some things that he wanted back. Kind of typical rookie, but overall, future was definitely bright. Patriots to 1-5. Texans are 5-1. Bucks over the Saints 51-27. Crazy game. Bucks are up 17-0 at one point. Then the Saints went up 27-24. Then the Bucks outscored 27-0 the rest of the way. When 51-27. They get the 4-2. Saints 2-4. Spencer Rattler was just okay again. I don't know how he started an NFL game. That's crazy to me. Eagles over the Browns 20-16. Nick Sirianni is such a clown. Screaming at the fans after the game. His own fans. And the ability to beat the freaking 1-5 Browns. He apologized for it after the game, but dude, that guy's a clown. They need to get rid of him. He is not a good head coach. He is just terrible. Browns 1-5. I'm out of word for Deshaun Watson. The guy just flat out sucks. He just is not good. Yeah, the Colts over the Titans 20-17. Joe Flacco got the start. He played well. But he needs to start at least the next 4 or 5 games. Richardson, he wasn't ready to start last year, I didn't think. I was surprised he started week 1 last year. Obviously, he ends up getting hurt. This year, he gets hurt again. And he did dress last game. I think it's the 3rd string quarterback. But he needs to learn behind a veteran. Have Joe Flacco start. To me, he gives him the best chance to win anyway, because he's played very well the last couple of games. Titans 1-4. Will Levis is just flat out awful. And they need to bench him. He was a 2nd-round pick. You took a shot. It didn't work. Brian Callen didn't draft him. You got to bench him. You have a Chargers over the Broncos 23-16. The Chargers pick up a win. just Justin Herbert. Still waiting for him to get back to his elite self, but at least he's still kind of getting over the ankle injury. They pick up a win. Steelers over the Raiders, 32-13. The Raiders are very bad. Now, Connell's the quarterback. Davantae Adams is a Jet. Or these might just be done. Steelers, look, Justin Fields has done enough to, win the game, to win them games. But apparently, Russell Wilson might be replacing him. I just got notification that Russell Wilson is getting first-team reps in practice. So he might start on against the Jets this week. That would be a giant surprise. I don't think Russ has a whole lot left. Obviously, Fields started him because Russ was hurt to start the year. But Fields is he hasn't been anything glamorous. But he hasn't lost you the game really. I mean, he's had a boneheaded play or two in their losses. Against the Colts, he had a boneheaded play or two. The other loss, forgot what it was. He had a boneheaded play or two. But other than that, he's only throwing for 100, 450, maybe 200 yards. But not turning the ball over. He's making plays with his legs. He's doing enough to win them games, and that's all you can ask for. And they're 4-2. They pick up a win there. Falcons over the Panthers, 38-20. They're just a better team. The Panthers suck. They're 1-5. Lions over the Cowboys, 47-9. Absolutely destroy the Cowboys. They definitely had revenge in their mind to the way they were kind of screwed over when the referees made a mistake on a substitution, and then Dan Campbell had some decision-making issues in that game. Yeah, they were throwing it to the left tackle. They had a flea flicker, like a reverse flea flicker that they threw to Sewell and got called back. They lined Dan Skipper like the backup tackle out as a receiver. They were just toying with the Cowboys. On Jerry Jones' 82nd birthday, it's the worst loss at home since he bought the team. Cowboys, they just aren't that good. That defense is just brutal. Dak is overrated as hell. They can't run the ball. They are not that good. The Lions, that team is ferocious. Tough loss to lose 8 Hutchins. He's going to miss the rest of the year. Broken tibia and fibula, really nasty injury. If you get queasy over stuff like that, I would not recommend Googling it if you didn't see it. But it's a tough loss. He's one of the best defensive players in the league, and apparently the Lions are going to look for some pass rush help. They signed some guy off someone's practice squad. I think they're going to look for in the trade market as well. But I think it's really good. That offense is as good as it gets in this league. And defensively, they're as good as it gets against the run. Hopefully their pass rush doesn't suffer too much, so probably will. Secondary is better this year. Detroit's really, really good. Bengals over the Giants, 17-7. That Giants offense is atrocious. They didn't have their top back Devin Singletary. That being said, Tyrod Taylor, this kid took him like the 5th, 6th round. He's a receiver that they transferred to running back. He's very good. I like him. I think just start over Singletary, honestly. I didn't have neighbor second straight game of a concussion. Daniel Jones, he's not good. Bengals have one of the worst defenses in the league. Bottom 5 defense in the league. Maybe the worst defense in the league. And you scored 1 touchdown the whole freaking game. 7 freaking points. You missed 2 field goals. That's just terrible. I don't care who's hurt. That's terrible. Daniel Jones, the touchdown drive of the Giants, that was the first touchdown drive that the Giants had at MetLife since Jones signed the contract. And Tyrod Taylor ran it in. Daniel Jones has not had a passing touchdown at MetLife Stadium, his home stadium, in 21 months. Almost 2 years. Almost 2 full calendar years. That is insane. That's crazy. I'm playing a little game now, if you follow my social media. So, you know I'm a big wrestling fan. SummerSlam is at MetLife Stadium this year. I believe it's August 25th. I was like, will Roman Reigns compete at SummerSlam? Probably main event it before Daniel throws a touchdown at MetLife Stadium. I'm playing a little game. It's a freaking race at this point. I don't know why I'm playing that game, but I am. And then Monday Night Football, Bills over Jets 23-20. Same old Jets. They were just as undisciplined. 11 penalties for 140 yards or 110 yards. They look really unprepared. Didn't get 4 trips to the red zone, only 1 touchdown. You missed 2 short field goals. Or hit the goalpost twice. If you make those field goals, they would have won. Dropping passes. Defense came out slow. Same old Jets. Sal was not a good coach, but not super confident in Jeff Ulbrich. He did take accountability after the game, saying, we need to be more accountable. But they're 2-4. Now they have Adams. I don't have much confidence in this team. I declared the season over pretty much already. But if they lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're done. I don't care if week, is Adams going to play or not. and I forget if it's a short week or another. They're in prime time against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's obviously a ginormous game. And no, it's on. I think they're on. No, it's Sunday night football. So it's not a short week. They play on Sunday night, but not Thursday night. If you lose that game, your season is over. I'm sorry. You're in a competitive division like that. If you're 2-5, you got a tough schedule coming up. You're absolutely cooked if you lose that game. But that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long and have a great day.